Hey, đi cà phê không?
Would you like to go for a cup of coffee? This is one of the most frequent questions we ask our loved ones frequently. Coffee has almost become a ritual in our everyday life. Well, maybe not every day, but very frequently. Whether we want to go out for some coffee talk, meeting for important businesses, or casual work date, going out for cafe has always been one of the safest choices to resort to. Isn't it amazing how this public space model become a shape that holds social and individual activity? Although now ubiquitous and part of urban culture everywhere in the world, cafe going in Vietnam still remains a part that is distinctive and inherently remarkable, reflective of Vietnamese culture that has existed and grown for more than 70 years. Guinness as a main source of inspiration, we, an aggregate of cafe lovers, decided to explore this topic further in our final project for modern Vietnamese culture and society. Here we will deep dive into traditional coffee shop models in Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City, as well as old practices of coffee making and the story that lie behind.
Our team has come up with the two research questions. The first is, how has the model of traditional cafes in Ho Chi Minh City changed between the subsidy period from 1975 to 1986 and the contemporary period from 2015 to 2021 as a third place for early adults? And the second question is, how have these patrons' attachment to these cafes and their activities there consequently changed between the two periods? From these questions and research outline, we believe that we can see how urban life has progressed through investigating the changes in traditional cafe models. We came up with a hypothesis. Due to economic, social, and technological changes and thus changes in taste and needs, traditional cafes have to adapt. This results in less social engagement among the people who go to traditional cafes in 2015 to 2021 compared to those who experienced the old model in 1975 to 1986. Now, traditional cafes are no longer third places.
After the reunification in 1975 and until the renovation period that started in 1986, Vietnam was under rapid and thorough transformation to high socialism on a national level. The most significant step taken was to adopt a centrally planned, subsidized economy. Under the system, the government oversees all the manufacturing, trade, and distribution of commodities. At the time, Vietnam was poor and underdeveloped, as the result of continuous conflicts and wars. However, this economic transition was ineffective in resolving the situation, even worsening it. Unquestionably, socializing was not prioritized. However, being socially connected is a basic human need. Despite the hardships, people still seek to have social interactions with others. Cafes, in their many forms, were one of the places that facilitated this important process. In today's settings, Vietnam has a socialist-oriented market economy. Many economic developments have come from this shift, which resulted in great improvements for the country. As the largest economic center of Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City has experienced rapid growth and as a result, experienced significant changes in terms of urban life. Saigon residents have more time, more disposable income, and are free to use the money they earned on a wide range of leisure activities. As a response to this, the coffee culture in the city has become more diverse, accommodating all needs and tastes. It seems that the traditional cafe model is vulnerable to the pressure to adapt as well.
In search of answers to the coffee culture of Saigon, we have found the third place theory by Ray Oldenburg. In his theory, Oldenburg defined third places as establishments where people can gather for socialization and relaxation without the privacy of the home, the first place, and professionalism of the workplace, the second place. They are an essential factor in nurturing a strong community and society, and are characterized by neutrality, inclusiveness, democracy, acting as a leveler of social inequality, conversational, exhibiting a low profile, accessibility, accommodating, playfulness, homeliness, and welcoming of regulars and newcomers alike. This theory of the third place is the theoretical framework which guided our research on the traditional coffee model in Saigon. Within the area of Ho Chi Minh City, our group aims to understand how urban life has changed in this large, constantly and rapidly evolving city through conducting an in-depth study of traditional cafes of the subsidy period and now. We will look at the subsidy period from 1975 to 1986 and compare it to the contemporary period from 2015 to 2021. The subsidy period was a special span of time in Vietnamese history when fascinating, specific social, economic, and cultural changes occurred. We have 3 groups of oral history sources. All are residents of Ho Chi Minh City. The first includes early adults, those who are aged between 20 to 30 years old, who went to cafes in the subsidy period. In other words, those who were born around the 1950s to the 1960s. The second are those who are in their 20s now. And lastly, we interviewed owners of our research cafes. After conducting preliminary fieldwork, we were able to choose 3 traditional cafes to conduct our study on. First, we will examine 2 surviving traditional cafes founded from even before 1975, Chao Leo Cafe and Balu Cafe. Chao Leo Cafe is located in Nguyễn Thiện Thuật Street, District 3 of Ho Chi Minh City. It was founded in 1938 and has been passed down through the founders' children. In the past, the cafe was very popular with Saigonese students. Balu Cafe is located in Phùng Hưng Street, District 5, right where the Chinese community is concentrated in the city. Founded in 1953 by an immigrant from Hainan Province, China, the cafe has also been passed through his children. Known for its age, the mix of Vietnamese, Southern Chinese culture it is preserving, and the special way the coffee is manually roasted, in recent years, Balu has been attracting a large number of customers, including tourists. Both of our long-standing cafes have changed very little. They brew their coffee using the old-fashioned vert method and have been in the same area since its opening. Both are also affordable. Drinks here cost around 20,000 to 25,000 Vietnam dong per cup. Then, we will go on to examine our third cafe to see the organization and social values of the modern-day traditional cafe. Open in 2019, Gia Lang Cafe is our chosen representation of recently established traditional cafe. It is also located in Nguyễn Thiện Thuật Street in District 3, and equipped with air conditioners and other amenities, the cafe offers a variety of coffee, such as homemade coffee. While it is generally affordable, Gia Lang Cafe also provides more expensive services and products, such as the Kopi Luwak coffee. Here, we will present the results of our research.
Chao Leo and Balu cafes, representing old, surviving establishments, both exhibit the following third-place characteristics: accessibility, inclusiveness, conversational and entertaining, accommodating, having regular patrons, playfulness, unpretentiousness, and homeliness. These qualities all serve to produce third-place functions, enhancing urban life. In addition, both cafes were third places for early adults of the subsidy period because communities then were smaller, meaning it was easier to have regular patrons and to unite the neighborhoods. And there were much fewer alternative sites for socializing outside of the home and the workplace for urban adults.
Con ghi câu nói này của chú này. Quán cà phê là một xã hội thu nhỏ, mở ngoặt, rất gồm nhiều hạng người trong xã hội cùng tới quán để uống, đóng ngoặt lại rồi về có khai triển ra. Tới nói chuyện đó, các con cháu lại nói chuyện rồi tâm sự với bạn bè với nhau đó.
Ông hay đi cùng bạn bè hay là đi cùng một mình?
Đa số có thể đi chung bạn bè mà có thể đi một mình.
Mà mỗi ngày chú uống cà phê là một cái nhu cầu thật sự chú cần thiết. Mà đã là nhu cầu thực sự cần thiết thì có bạn chú đi với bạn, không có bạn chú đi một mình.
Nói chung là tôi uống cà phê rất mà uống rất sớm, tới 11, 12 giờ là tan hết rồi, quán cà phê không có ai. Còn bây giờ là ngồi tới tối luôn. Mẹ đâu không biết trước nghe ai chứ chả không chứ leo, mà người ta cái cách người ta tiếp xúc với ba cô á, một cách trân trọng, một cách yêu thích. Sáng sớm á, là học sinh đi trí có chùa Văn An giờ là giáo dục thường xuyên á, chùa Văn An có kiến thiết để Âu Thắng, rồi những người học bên đại học mấy trường học ít thôi, rồi báo chí nó vô đó ngồi, rồi mấy cô nào hỏi uống cà phê gì rồi bưng ra bán cho nó thôi. Mà sáng sớm giờ, sáng 6 giờ là rợp hết áo quần xanh áo trắng là tụi nó ký đông nhất, nó ngồi đầy nhẹ hết trơn. Cô vô thấy toàn là tụi lắm, mấy đứa dễ thương lắm, tụi dễ thương lâu lâu nó cũng về, mấy đứa cũng về cho con học sinh hồi xưa con uống bán cho không có nhớ đâu con.
During the subsidy period, traditional cafes played the third place role and worked to strengthen social bonds. Is this also the case with traditional cafes now? Yes!
In the present day, all traditional cafes, regardless of length or operation, still embody various third place characteristics. They continue to create positive effects for the individual and social life of Vicenarian residents of Ho Chi Minh City, but in a different way than cafes did during the subsidy period. Due to the socio-political changes and economic progress, cafe-goers' demands and traditional cafes' position in the society are no longer the same. Consequently, the effect of third-place characteristics differ, and the patrons play a more central role in maintaining the third place. Because of their nature as a place where history and nostalgia is preserved, long-standing cafes owners and patrons both enthusiastically engage in knowledge exchanges and relationship building with each other and with newcomers. Those who are regulars keep the essence of the community and share it with others. To a certain extent, the early adults who come to these traditional cafes are the main keepers of its third place quality. They come with a different expectation than what they would have for other types of cafe, to assimilate themselves and learn. Thus, these customers' behavior and activities align with what is anticipated in a third place. These are the reasons why surviving traditional cafes continue to be an important center for socialization in the city.
Nhóm sinh viên không cầm điện thoại cầm việc luôn là không đi ăn nó thốn.
Dùng cà phê mình sẽ học tiếng Hoa, thích nghe mấy ông bà già nói chuyện, nên là chọn ở đây ngồi. Người đến đây để uống, họ rất thích sử dụng điện thoại, thường họ nói chuyện với nhau. Mấy bạn bè tới thì nói chuyện, cho mấy bạn khám phá.
Bây giờ giới trẻ quán cô là giới trẻ rất là đông. Giới trẻ ở đây là những người khách đến ở đây họ rất là văn minh lịch sự và những người có kiến thức không chứ không chung là mấy đứa nhỏ đây là đứa nào đến uống cà phê là cô cũng thân tình.
While all traditional cafes are third place for the contemporary society, long-standing and recently opened traditional cafes both have traditional third place functions for their own types. First, we will look deeper at how surviving traditional cafes act as third places in the modern context.
While contemporary traditional cafes remain a third place for early adults of Ho Chi Minh City, as discussed in Section B, one of its functions dominate the space. The third place serving as an office, where neither party is on his or her home ground, but in some neutral corner, preferably a comfortable and informal one.
Vẫn chưa có thay đổi gì, vẫn nguyên vậy thôi. Cách bố trí thì có thay đổi về một số bàn ghế cho nó thích hợp với nhu cầu của khách. Ví dụ như lúc đầu nó là ghế cao, rồi giờ khách thích ngồi salon thì mình đổi thành salon. Thường là đánh game, người ta ngồi đánh game hoặc là những người ta hỏi bạn chung lâu ngày gặp, không thì là những người ta làm ăn môi giới nhà đất đồ đó, người ta lại người ta tiếp khách.
Hẹn cà phê là để trao đổi công việc, đối tác rồi với bạn bè, một số giao dịch làm ăn của anh, với lại công việc là thường tụi anh sẽ gặp khách hàng, gặp mấy cái merchant này rồi thì hẹn cà phê vậy hơn, ngồi thoải mái, rồi kiểu như là tự do, Nhiều khi bận vô Starbucks ngồi phải lịch sự một tí, nhưng mà ngồi đây thì ngồi được thoải mái hơn.
Thứ nhất là mình yêu thích cà phê, thứ hai nữa là những cái quán cà phê đó thì hay hẹn anh em bạn bè, thứ nhất là nói chuyện với nhau, thứ hai cũng bàn tính công việc. Chú thường hay một mình, nhưng mà khi có công việc nào giao lưu hay là cần làm việc thì sẽ điện thoại anh em hay là bạn bè tới nói chuyện. Riêng chú thì chú lại thích cái phong cách nó vỉa hè, nó nhìn nó gần gũi đời sống của mình từ xưa giờ hơn. Với lại nó có cái gì đó nó dễ chịu, nó hợp với cái sở thích của mình. Ở đơn sơ thôi, nó giản dị thì ghế thấp, bàn thấp, gọi là ghế bệt đó, thì ngồi nó dễ chịu. Bên ngoài thì mình dễ quan sát hơn. Mình với lại mình cũng không có bị ngột ngạt về cái không gian quan sát, giống như là ở ngoài đường cái cuộc sống xã hội hàng ngày, mình quan sát cái dòng về cái cuộc sống xã hội nó như thế nào, với lại nó không quen với mình, nó cũng gần gũi với mình từ xưa giờ.
Despite Ho Chi Minh City drastic changes between the subsidized period, Bao Cấp period 1975 and 1986, and in the contemporary period 2015 to 2021, including the emergence of new cafe models to better serve modern patrons, traditional cafes in the city have gone through few changes. Through our fieldwork, in opposition to our hypothesis, we have found that traditional cafes, both old and recent, continue to serve as third place in the present day for urban early adults, 20 to 30 years old, but the way they act as third place differ. During the subsidized period, Saigonese traditional cafes embody all the characteristics of a third place. The most relevant among them are accessibility, inclusiveness, providing entertainment and conversations, accommodating, having regulars, playfulness, unpretentiousness, and homeliness. As a result, these cafes offer a wide range of beneficial effects on the local community. Nowadays, traditional cafes remain a third place for urban early adults, as the context is dissimilar to that of the subsidized period. However, these cafes provide different third place functions for the society. Furthermore, undoubtedly, surviving traditional cafes from the subsidized period are dissimilar to those that were opened in recent times, and the positive effect they provide differ slightly. Surviving traditional cafes continue to act as the center for socialization because they preserve a special cultural experience and maintain ongoing relationships with groups of regulars, while also welcoming new members and encouraging guests to create relationships. To a certain extent, instead of the cafe model changing, it is the early adults who come to these old cafes that have adjusted to fit in. They keep the third place quality alive for young people. With recently established traditional cafe, their performance at a third place is mainly in its role as a neutral, comfortable, and informal office for Saigonese early adults.
Traditional cafe can act like a third place and welcome all people in the community, but we need individuals to be proactive so that social bonds can be connected.